In just a few weeks, several ballot races may have a so-called unofficial winner, not in the general election, but in the primary.
The primary is a chance to weigh in on that, to decide just what sort of message you want, just what sort of candidates you want your party to be producing.
Seth Maskett,
And that in
political
many
science
ways
professor at DU, says seats that are, for instance, Democratic or Republican strongholds could largely be decided. And yet, we'll see less ballots cast and less voter enthusiasm.
Now, that being said, turnout in a primary just tends to be a lot lower than turnout in November. And that's not unique to Colorado. It's not unique to this year, but it's simply a function of we generally see just less overall campaigning, less overall media attention to elections when it's during the primary.
Let's look at the 2022 numbers. In the general election, about 66% of active voters cast a ballot, and in the primary, less than half, about 32%.
Well, one thing I would encourage voters to consider is that there are real fights going on within each of the parties right now about how far left or right they should be, or how much they should be focused on national politics, or whether they're strong enough or not strong enough about Donald Trump or whatever.
And within this conversation, we cannot forget unaffiliated voters, more than 2 million in the state. Maskett says they're less likely to vote at the end of the month.
Unaffiliated voters are far less likely to vote than either Democrats or Republicans are in a primary election. Now, part of that is just because unaffiliated voters also includes a lot of people who just don't pay a lot of attention to politics, don't care that much about a primary.
Maskett says that with more competitive races this year, we could see an increase from that 32% voter turnout.
There is a lot of money going into these races. There's a lot of advertising being pushed. So a lot of Coloradans who might not otherwise vote in a primary are getting the message that there's a contest going on.
If you are an unaffiliated voter, don't forget you can cast either a Democrat or Republican ballot. So that's something that you should look forward to. In the studio, Angela McCall, 9 News.